Welcome, everyone, to Healing Wednesday, Circle of 12. I'm Lee Carroll.
And I'm Monica Morani.
Well, happy November 1st. And for those in the States, this is our Thanksgiving month. And it's also a time when we start to receive a little cooler weather. The program you're watching right now is offered for free on the first Wednesday of the month. However, our Healing Wednesday members receive a 90-minute program just like this one on every Wednesday of the year. These programs feature great special guests, questions and answers, discussions, meditations, channeling. Wow. Plus, we are offering something brand new for our members.
I think people can see what that is. It is called the Green Mist. And the Green Mist experience, it's completely different from anything else we've done. And it's exclusive to our Healing Wednesday members. Within the Green Mist, Lee and I take you on a journey where you meet 7 profound healers, each with their own special healing energy. And the new Green Mist programs are presented on the first Sunday of every month. And of course, members can access the replays in their portals.
The creation of these new programs is our way of thanking our members, some of whom have been with us an entire 3 years. Well, if you're not a member and you'd like to know more, come and join our Circle of 12 at CryonMasters.com.
Now, some of you know that right now, Lee and I are moving through the dimensions of time and space so that we can be in 2 places at the same time. Some of you are wondering, what am I even talking about? I'm going to explain right now. Because at this precise moment, we are here with all of you online, and at the same time, we're at the Big Island in Hawaii with a beautiful group of old souls enjoying a retreat together. So the program you are watching, don't freak out. This program was pre-recorded, and the reason is because we never want to miss an episode with our wonderful Healing Wednesday family. And honestly, no one has seen this episode yet until now. So I encourage all of you watching, is this pre-recorded? Is this not pre-recorded? Just suspend all idea of time. Focus on becoming fully present in this moment and just allow all the other thoughts that come into your mind to simply observe them and then dismiss them. You can pick them up at the end of the program if you want to. And as we become more present in this now moment, I think it's probably a really good time to share an affirmation so that we can set the energy for all of us and give instructions to our body. So I invite you to say this affirmation out loud, and you're going to see the words on the screen to make it easier for you to participate. And again, this affirmation was inspired from a question and answer we had with Cryon in the previous month. Here it is. I am a divine piece of creation. Therefore, all that is before me is my doing. Today, I choose to slow down the aging clock that is within my cells. Today, I instruct my cellular structure to vibrate to my intent and directions. I release the divinity that is within me. I create a peaceful balance in all things, everywhere I walk. Thank you, Spirit, for giving me the ability to design benevolence in my life.
I am a divine piece of creation. Therefore, all that is before me is my doing. Today, I choose to slow down the aging clock that is within my cells. Today, I instruct my cellular structure to vibrate to my intent and directions. I release the divinity that is within me. I create a peaceful balance in all things, everywhere I walk. Thank you, Spirit, for giving me the ability to design benevolence in my life.
I am a divine piece of creation. Therefore, all that is before me is my doing. Today, I choose to slow down the aging clock that is within my cells. Today, I instruct my cellular structure to vibrate to my intent and directions. I release the divinity that is within me. I create a peaceful balance in all things, everywhere I walk. Thank you, Spirit, for giving me the ability to design benevolence in my life.
Thank you, Monica. I hope everyone listening to these understands just how powerful these affirmations are. It's also a good reminder that we're in control of our own reality. In addition, our consciousness can give instructions to our biology. If you enjoyed that affirmation, the good news is that we'll be using this same affirmation for the next 3 weeks.
And what we'd like to do now is to answer some questions that have been submitted to us. And this next question, it comes from Lynn. And Lynn is from Canada, and she is asking, what should a person do if they know someone truly hates them? I have tried to focus sending love to them, but it doesn't seem to do anything. Since I know how powerful sending love is, I worry about how powerful, strong, focused, negative emotions sent towards me can be. Is there something one can do to help neutralize another person's negative emotions?
All right, Lynn, it's a tough question. It's one that needs to be answered. And the answer I give might surprise you, since it isn't the one that you hear all the time. First, I also have people who hate me. And for the longest time, I've wanted answers regarding that same thing that you are asking and working on. Within those who hate my entire work, they are there. They hate everything I stand for. I have actually been called the evil of the century. And of course, there are others who believe I'm the head of some kind of a conspiracy to do something. I have yet to figure out what that something is and the head of what I'm doing. And then, of course, there was that sweet lady Louise Hay, who got death threats for her book, You Can Heal Your Life. So no matter who you are or what you do, there's always the potential somebody will hate you. So here is what I have learned. First, before anything else, expect to have others be unbalanced enough to dislike you, no matter what you do, who you are. It's their issue, not yours. Did you get the one? Did you get that? It's their issue, not yours. Even though it's directed at you, it's their issue. Once you get past that and are more comfortable with another's issue, know this. Ready? Nothing that they can do with their hate consciousness can hurt you. Period. Their hatred can only harm you if you buy into the energy of their hate and fear them. This is the way a great deal of the negative evil eye stuff works. People become afraid of some process they think will hurt them, and then it does. Our minds are so powerful, and it does this. Ever heard of the placebo effect? People take a pill that has nothing in it, and they get healed. Yay! Did you know that the opposite is also true? People take a pill and later are told it has horrible stuff in it, even if it doesn't, and they get sick. So hatred by itself from another person won't hurt you unless you let it. Expect it. So stop worrying about that one. Next, most of us want to help the situation by changing the one who's doing the hating and helping them not to hate us. Oh, that's just intuitive. We're told to send them love, and it'll change them. Aquinas helped describe this situation, and in a recent channel called Catching the Ball, here's what he told. I'm paraphrasing. If the person is not postured to accept your love, or your healing energy, or your prayers for them, it's very unlikely that nothing will happen for them. This must at least be, they have to be partially ready, at least partially ready, to catch the ball of your love and compassion for them to be changed. So again, it's all about free choice and the allowance to be helped or changed or healed. Hate is dysfunctional, often irrational, very stubborn. It can only be dissolved if the hating person really wants it to be, especially if they make a discovery on their own, maybe that changes things, and they often do. You cannot instruct somebody not to hate. It's usually something that has been long-term ingrained in them and has a very hard shell around them that It makes no sense at all. If you're always with them, many times they may soften over time to the fact that you're always loving them despite their actions. That's possible. But mostly, the person's doing the hating that you know about, they're not with you. So what I've done in the past is to, number one, realize their negativity can only harm them, and it does. It does. Secondly, I now understand that I can't make them not hate me. Hatred is too ingrained in what they believe. Third, I realize that the entire scenario is really me feeling bad about them hating me. Get that? So I have surrounded the situation in love and put a bubble around myself, around them, so that the negativity won't affect me any longer. Then I give a verbal allowance for things to change if they can. I'm always ready to have this person catch the ball of circumstance or synchronicity or love that I have put in front of them. That might then allow them to see the situation better or relax in the love I put in front of them where they might walk. Anything is possible, and I've seen it. Lynn, it's the best thing we can do. It's the best you can do. It's the best I can do. So relax in the arms of Spirit and bless this one who hates you. See them as God sees them and love them anyway. This will change you and perhaps even change the situation someday around them. Get ready for that.
Next, I have a question from William. William is from Glasgow in Scotland, and he's asking, can I send Reiki to the people of Maui, Hawaii, or do I need permission to do this?
William, I'm putting this answer right here next to the last one for a reason. It's actually a continuation from the last answer. I want lightworkers to understand the difference between praying for a person who hates them and praying for somebody in need. Most of those in need right now on this planet are very ready to catch the ball of energy we are sending, of peacefulness and love and kindness. They're actually asking for that energy to be sent. If you go to a funeral and somebody has lost a loved one, but you don't speak their language, what could you say or do to help them with their grief? What if you're a singer or have an instrument to play for them? Could your music make a difference? The answer is yes, and it often does, and people do that. So there are many things like this which are universal, and human beings are very ready to receive without knowing their culture or their language. This includes many energies that you can develop, which are very well received and welcomed. People who are in the darkness of sorrow and grief or fear, they don't mind if you turn on a light in their darkness. I mean, honestly, think about that. They don't mind if you turn on a light in their darkness. You don't need permission to sing a song of love to those who are in silence and fear or worry. You don't need permission to send the energy of Reiki to those who are hoping that somebody is out there who might help them by doing this. There's so much on the planet right now that represents this very thing. There are so many who have their arms outstretched, ready to catch the ball, ready to receive whatever love and energy that we can send them. Does it do any good? Yes. According to so many accounts from those in trouble in the past who have caught that ball, it does. There are many who report that when they were at their darkest hour, they felt the prayers and the love from those who are in faraway lands. Maybe it's us right now in a faraway land from them. They could absolutely feel us and our love, and it kept them peaceful in times of great distress, unbalance, and fear. We never need permission to send light to a dark place or love to a place that has none. Bless you for this question, William.
What a beautiful answer, Lee. Thank you. And this final question is one that was asked to Cryon online many years ago, and I'm going to share the question with you and then read the answer from Cryon. Dear Cryon, when I chant mantras, I know they affect my body, but can they also affect the bodies of my horses, dogs, and cats? I play different mantras 24 hours a day on a horse farm. Chants like Om Mani Padme Om. So I was wondering, Can these chants help raise the vibration of the planet as well? I sure hope so, because this is my humble intent, even though the main reason I use them is because they make me feel good. So here is Cryon's answer. All toning and sound vibration has energy, especially when you combine it with intent from human consciousness. It is very powerful. Do not spend too much time on the details of exactly what notes or mantras you use, for these details are only there to keep you pleased that you are fulfilling a system. Humans love systems and respond well to them, but following a system is not necessary from the perspective of spirit. It is true that almost everything around you, including your body, has specific tonal attributes. However, all life around you will respond even if you don't say or sing its specific frequency. This is because the intent of your actions is seen as a carrier for all the tones. So even if through your lack of knowledge or vocal ability you miss the note, the intent carries the correct note at a multidimensional level. This is true with the mantras you mentioned. They are only powerful due to the intent that you place upon them and the words that you feel are meaningful to you. The animals respond to the same energy. They feel the intent and they like the vocal sounds you make. They would not care what language or what mantra. Do you see the power that your own human consciousness has on nature and everything around you? What a beautiful question from Cryon and answer.
Yeah, I like it when they talk about sound, because we really know how much that...
Absolutely,
yeah.
But it's the sound with intent. And so let's go to a meditation and then we'll hear from Cryon. So I invite you to close your eyes so that you can just take this moment for yourself and disconnect with whatever is going on in your world right now. And you can disconnect in this moment from everything else that is happening on the planet. This is your time now to relax in the arms of spirit and receive a message from Cryon.
Greetings, dear ones. I am Cryon of Magnetic Service. This is the first message of the month, and this one is going to be very different, because it's going to be an explanation of a word that I gave almost a year ago. Now, I have revealed this information last month, but not on this particular program, and I'm going to do it again. Every year, we give a word that might describe the year. Now, humans love this. Even though the word given the year before is still active, they want to change it. And so I did. But the word that I changed it to was this. This is the year of recovery. Now, those who look at that scratch their heads and say, I'm looking at the world right now, Cryon, and it doesn't look like we're recovering from anything. In fact, it looks like we're going the opposite direction of recovery. So I will explain this now for all those watching, for all the members of Circle of 12, and for all those interested, of what that meant. Because right now is the critical point on the planet that is actively involved in recovery. Here's what it means. When those in a hospital are in a coma, and at some point in time, after a duration in that coma, whatever the time is, and they start to come out, it's very exciting. First of all, there is always the possibility they won't come out. Now, this is a metaphor for humanity. Humanity has always been in a coma of dark energy. You can't doubt that if you're a historian. You just look backwards and you see it very clearly. Human civilization has always been about one thing. You can actually measure the demarcations of what happens with civilizations by the wars they have. And the wars they have seem to be continuous. In other words, nothing is ever learned. Nothing is ever learned from a war. And even though the war is then settled and over, it seems like everyone goes to lunch and comes back and has another war. Now, this has been called human nature. That no matter what, one generation never learns anything that passes to the other generation about war. They just simply do it again. That is a coma. A coma of darkness. Darkness breeds irrationality and dysfunction, and that's where humanity has been. This work that I do has one point to it, one theme. If you ask Kryon, me, what is my work about? It's about the awakening of humans on this planet. It's about the new human being on this planet. I've been here for 30 years and more now. And the message I gave when I arrived was this: you will receive no Armageddon as promised in the years 2000 and beyond, and instead you are headed for something that is unexpected. You're headed for a battle of dark and light. But that battle will actually represent the fulcrum or the turning point between dark and light on the planet. You will awaken from a darkness you've had for eons and develop the highest consciousness the planet has ever had that will eventually result in no war. That's what I said. And that has been the theme of Kryon for all of these decades. And here we are. You are recovering from the coma. Humanity is starting to now awaken from that darkness. And what happens in that awakening is very interesting. There will be those who will come out of that coma, and there will be those who don't. And that is the point. Those who don't have no consciousness of a higher level. There has been a saying that you cannot look up in consciousness. You have to be there and look down. You don't know what you don't know, so you cannot be in one consciousness and imagine being in a higher one. It doesn't work that way. Your consciousness always seems to be accurate, true, and correct, unless you awaken to a higher one. It's like finding out that there was no Santa Claus for those who were children in the culture of my partner. It's seeing something then when you're older and wiser and going, oh, I understand, that was cute and that was fun. But now I'm wiser and older and I move on from here and I see the love in it. So those who do not awaken from this darkness are then invested in that which is their reality, and they want to sustain it. What this means is that there are those who will always want to pull you back to the reality that they used to have, that you used to have while you're in the coma. Have you seen any of them? Are you starting to recognize them? And the difference in this awakening and this recovery is that the world today is not going to go in the direction that it went to before. The idea that one generation does not learn from another is now over. And you're looking at generations who are looking at the past ones and saying, what were you thinking? What were you thinking when you decided to all collectively get together and threaten all of the human beings on the planet with war? And that is starting to make sense to so many individuals that there should be no more, to the extent that most countries today, looking at what's going on, don't want any part of it. They don't want to join an alliance of East and West, or North or South. They don't want to go along the old political lines that their ancestors did, or even their grandfathers did. And you're seeing that today. That most countries that joined before are not joining now. No matter what the wars are, no matter why they are, no matter what the reasoning is of those participating, those around them are trying to help, not join. Dear ones, that is new. This is the human race doing something that was predicted by the ancients. And I have gone to places with you of teaching many times, showing you that the ancients were there, predicting this moment, where a different path was possible, a path that humans never took before, a higher path. And that this is the timing of it, the precession of the equinoxes. So the astronomy of it makes sense, especially to the ancients. I've told you it was coming, when it would be here, and you're in it. Well, for those of you who are fearful of saying what is happening and what will happen next, this is for you. It was expected. It was expected. Now, the ferocity of it, that's what humans have created. How bad it would be, that's the free choice of humans. The sorrow is there. The horror is there. But dear ones, this is what we told you the dark and the light battle would be like. The news that I want to give you, and I have channeled before last month, is this. This may represent the final battles of earth. Not in a negative way, in a positive way. The earth is looking at the atrociousness of what it is, are seeing what your ancestors saw, and the result is never again. We can do better than this. It may take another generation, but light is starting to come. Color is starting to come to a black and white earth in ways perhaps you didn't want. But this is what we said may happen, is that the darkness wants so much to sit upon your light, light worker, to eliminate you. Fear will do it. We've told you that. If you're in fear and worry, your light is covered, and we've told you that. This is the truth of the day. You are recovering from an old energy, from an old time, from an old humanism, and you're awakening from a coma to something that you can now take care of in ways you could not before, because the consciousness of the planet is starting to move. It started to move some time ago. It's slow. It takes generations sometimes. It takes those we talked about years ago when we gave you the information originally on the indigo children. These are new conscious human beings that think differently. It's the beginning, even of those who needed to be here during the shift. For some of you, it is now all making sense. So my plea is this: send love to this planet when it needs it. For those of you in peace right now, take the condition you're in and look at it, wrap it up in a package, and send it to those who are not in peace. Don't make up your mind who deserves it or who should have it. Just send it to all in trouble. Everyone who needs love. And that's why you're here. That's why you may be listening, even to this channel at this time. I'm crying in love with you all. And so it is.
Following that beautiful message from Cry On, I invite you to bring your awareness back into your body. And if you've had your eyes closed, now is the moment to open your eyes, because I'm about to introduce a special guest on the program this evening who is no stranger to Healing Wednesday. And many people have actually written to me giving testimonies of how amazing the body of work is that this gentleman represents. His name is Dr. Bradley Nelson, and I want to make sure he's on the Zoom feed with us. Dr. Bradley, are you there?
I am here.
Yay, wonderful. Well, it is true. We had you on our program and we're delighted to have you back.
I'm excited. Dr. Bradley Nelson is not a stranger either to Monica or myself. Back in 2020.
Oh my gosh, that long ago.
He was our special guest on Ready? Healing Wednesday program number 13. Now, to put this in perspective, this is now Healing Wednesday program number 153, almost 3 years ago. Dr. Nelson was in the fourth free program we ever had, and his presence really helped us get this series going, kickstarting it back in December of 2020. Wow, that's awesome to have him back. Dr. Bradley Nelson is a very well-known holistic physician and is one of the world's foremost experts on natural methods of achieving wellness.
Now, Dr. Nelson is the creator of the Emotion Code and the Body Code system. He's the CEO of Discover Healing. It's a holistic education platform that provides training and certifies practitioners worldwide. His best-selling book, The Emotion Code, it provides step-by-step instructions for working with the body's energy healing power. And for 2023, take a look at this, everyone. If I can manage to get it without swatting my microphone, we have the Body Code. It is unlocking your body's ability to heal itself, and it's published by St. Martin's Press.
It's so much fun and such an honor to have you back again on our program, Dr. Nelson. Welcome back.
Well, thank you so much. The honor is mine, and I'm so thrilled to see that that show that I did with you all those years ago.
It was a long. It was it.
It was
a long time ago.
So I want to share
it seems
with
like forever.
It does, my goodness. But I do want to share with you a story from a personal friend of mine who wrote to me and said that she went into hospital for a surgery and the next day was in severe pain, described it as the worst day of her life. And in total despair, she contacted a friend in a completely different country who is a professional practitioner with Emotion Code. So the practitioner sent her an audio recording of what she had done to dissolve her emotions without knowing anything about her. This is the amazing part. And as soon as she listened to that recording, there was such a release that all her symptoms were gone within the hour. I mean, wow, amazing. So can you explain to us how this works?
Well, Albert Einstein said, the medicine of the future will be the medicine of frequencies. And Nikola Tesla said, if you want to understand the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. And the Emotion Code is the first book that I wrote, and it's all about finding and removing the emotional energies that have become trapped in your body during those emotional events that you have lived through that you would rather not have lived through. And sometimes even things that you don't remember, sometimes things when you were a child or in the womb. Sometimes we inherit emotional energy from a parent that might go back for generations. And so the emotion code made a big splash in the world, and it's still going. It's been translated into many languages, and people are finding out that this is a very simple method that they can use themselves, and they can get immediate results in many cases with physical pain. But what I found was that all my patients, no matter how young or old they were, they all had something in common. And that was that no matter what they were suffering from, no matter what they'd been diagnosed with, they all had something in common that I came to call their emotional baggage, or these energies of these emotions. And see, if you think about the body, you think about quantum physics, and we know that the body is just a very complex energy field. Well, if you think about an emotion, if you're feeling an intense emotion, what's going on a quantum level is that you're experiencing a particular frequency of energy. And every emotion has a different frequency. And joy's at the top and shame's at the bottom, and so on. Well, when you're feeling that intense emotion, sometimes it's a little too much for your body to process. And so that energy can become trapped in the body. And a trapped emotion is literally a ball of emotional energy from about the size of a baseball to about the size of a softball. And wherever they lodge, they will tend to cause discomfort in many, many cases. In fact, 90% of the physical pain that people have is due to their emotional baggage, and it can be severe pain. So it's an amazing thing, but that's why I left practice in 2004, because I knew that this had to go out to the world. People needed to know this. People needed to understand this, and I needed to write a book and get it out to the world. And so that's really what the emotion code is. It's a method of finding these imbalances that are in the body and removing them. So let me ask you a question, and for your audience, what Einstein said, the future of medicine, or the future medicine will be the medicine of frequencies. Try to imagine for a moment in the future what that might look like. What would that actually look like? And what it looks like is actually what the emotion code and also the body code actually have turned out to be. It turns out that within us, we have a subconscious mind that is essentially a computer that knows exactly what's going on with us. It knows with a perfect understanding why we're sick, or why we're dealing with depression or anxiety or phobias or panic attacks or PTSD or eating disorders or self-sabotage of some kind, or whether we are suffering from some kind of a disease process, or if we're dealing with something that's maybe more common like infertility or asthma or digestive disorders. The subconscious mind knows the reasons for those things. And so as a computer programmer in my earlier life, when I became a doctor, I began to realize slowly that the subconscious mind is a computer. It's a binary computer. And so it doesn't have a screen. It doesn't have a keyboard. So instead of having a screen to manifest things like your laptop would or like your phone would, where you see messages, the subconscious mind communicates with us through symptoms like pain or these other things that I've mentioned. The subconscious mind will communicate to us by maybe carrying more weight than you'd like to, or by choosing the wrong kind of person over and over, or by not being able to make enough money. And so what I've come to understand is that all of these malfunctions in our lives are all symptoms of imbalances that are going on within us and are a way for the subconscious mind to get our attention so that we can address the true underlying reasons for what's going on. And of course, Western medicine looks at the symptoms as the problem, but really the symptoms aren't the problem. They're just the message. So you have to look beyond those. And that's exactly what this work does.
Yeah. So how do we look beyond when we don't even know what's in the subconscious? Because by the very nature of it, it's not in our conscious mind.
Well, that was the big question for me as a programmer. I began to realize that the subconscious mind could answer any question that you wanted, as long as the answer could come back from the subconscious mind in the form of a yes or a no. Or in other words, with the body, it would be a strong muscle test for yes or a weak muscle test for no. And so that's how the subconscious communicates, and you can ask questions and you can get answers. And because this is energy medicine, it's really all about quantum physics. This can be done at any kind of a distance. And in fact, if either one of you have any kind of an issue going on, I'd be happy to give you maybe a quick demonstration so people could see this. A picture's worth 1,000 words, I think.
Sure, I'll put my head in the guillotine of.
Okay.
Oh, mine.
All right, Monica.
No, I say that because
I'm proud of
I
you,
feel
dear.
vulnerable
Yeah.
in sharing it. I'll be honest, and
Sure.
I think my entire life I have battled being overweight, and
Okay.
I have two sisters that I love dearly, and we share a similar issue.
Okay. All right. Well, let's take a look. It's very, very common. What you're describing, very common. And think about it this way: your conscious mind is an infinitesimally small part of your overall intelligence. And with your conscious mind, if you want to lose weight and be a certain dress size or a certain weight, that's fine. But if your subconscious mind, which is the vast bulk of your intelligence, is not okay with that, or does not agree with that, or wants to keep you at a heavier weight, then that's where you're going to stay. You may starve yourself and lose some weight, but then you'll go right back to where you were if the subconscious mind wills it, because you can't really overcome what the subconscious mind wants to do. So let's see. Would it be possible, do you think, for me to share my screen? And so what we're looking at here is the body code system running on my laptop. It runs on mobile devices as well.
Clock start.
Let me explain this. I was a computer programmer, and when I became a doctor, I always had a computer there with me in my office. And as I was finding new things on people, I would record them. And I was always trying to categorize the imbalances that I was finding that were the underlying causes of my patient's symptoms. And I found that there are really 6 different kinds of imbalances. There are pathogens, which of course are little organisms that get into the body and set up housekeeping, like viruses and mold and parasites. There are misalignments. Any tissue can misalign. If tissues are misaligned, you won't be as healthy as you could be. You can have nutritional deficiencies or lifestyle problems. You can have toxins in the body. You can have imbalances of the circuitry or the systems of the body. You can have imbalances in the energy field. In other words, you can have energies in the body that shouldn't be there, like physical or emotional trauma energies or the energy of trapped emotions. And so what we can do here is we can actually tune into you, Monica, and I can ask some questions about why you're maybe dealing with this weight issue, and maybe there's something we can do to help you. So the first thing that we like to do is take a moment to ask for some help from the higher power, God, source energy, creator, whatever you want to call it. Give me just a moment here. We'll do that. And you can do that too if you want. All right, awesome. Now, in quantum physics, there's a principle known as entanglement, which means that energies can become entangled with other energies at vast distances. And what I want to know is, are my energies entangled now with yours so that I can act as proxy for you? Yes. So what I'm doing is I'm using the ring and ring test. Okay, we've got two rings here, basically with thumbs and fingers, and we're forming a chain. And as I'm asking questions of your subconscious mind, those answers will manifest through the quantum field to my subconscious mind, because we're connected energetically and our energies are entangled. And so those answers will manifest on my body as either strong for yes or weak for no. Remember, I asked you what to try to imagine what the energy medicine might look like of the future. And this is exactly what it looks like. It looks nothing like regular Western medicine, but this is how it works. So let's ask this question. Is there a reason why you're carrying more weight than you'd like to be carrying in your life? Is there a reason for that? And our intention is we want the biggest reason. And so let's see what answer we get. We get a yes answer. So that's a strong muscle test coming from your subconscious mind to mine. And so now we have the body code. We have 6 different kinds of imbalances here. And your subconscious mind knows what this first imbalance is. I don't have any idea what it is, but your subconscious knows. And I basically now play charades with your subconscious to figure out what this first reason is. Is it on the right side of our chart? No. So is it in the energies area? It is. We'll go there. And is it on the left side of this page? No. Is it an allergy? No. An intolerance? No. Is it something emotional? Something emotional will go here. So this is the emotion code. All right. Is it something on the left side of this page? Yes. Is it a trapped emotion? It is. So we'll go there. So the different kinds of trapped emotions. Sometimes they happen to us when we're in the womb, or sometimes before we're conceived, or sometimes we inherit emotional energy, etc. And so let's ask, what kind of an emotion is this? Is it listed here on the left side of the chart? Yes or no? Actually, yes, it is. So is it a prenatal trapped emotion or preconception? It's actually what we call an inherited trapped emotion. So what we can do is we can scroll down here to the emotion code chart. Now, inherited trapped emotions are received at the moment of conception from either mom or dad, and they might have received them at their conception from their mom or dad, and these can go back for generations. But let's see what this is, okay? This emotion, is it listed in the chart here in column A? No, it's in column B. Is it in one of the odd rows? Yes. Is it in row 1? Yes. Is it effort unreceived or heartache? Is it insecurity or overjoy or vulnerability? So the emotion is vulnerability, okay? And let's just see here where this came from. We need to figure out the genealogy of this, okay? So just take a moment. Did you get this from your mother when you were conceived? No, it came from your father. These answers are coming from your subconscious mind, okay, to mine, and then I'm able to manifest them. So this energy came from your father. Did he get this from somebody earlier? Yes, from his mother. He got it from his mother. And how far back from you does this go? How many generations? Does it go back further? It does. How many generations? 5, yes. 10, yes. 15, no. 14, no. 13 generations, no. 12, no. 11, it goes back 11 generations, or roughly back to about 1735 AD. And did this originate with a male? No, it started with a grandmother, okay? So, 1735, I don't know. Probably not a very good time to be feeling vulnerable. There could have been some dangerous things happened back then, right?
Not at all.
Yeah. So let's ask, do we need to know anything else about this? And the answer there is no. But let me ask you, Monica, do you have kids?
I do not.
Okay. Because if you did, you may have passed that to them. But all right. So let's go ahead and release this. So what we can do is we can take a magnet of any kind. This is just a simple magnet, has the chart on it, or you can use your hand. And acting as proxy for you, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pass this magnet over the governing meridian about 10 times. And what we're doing here is we're releasing this inherited energy of vulnerability. And let's ask if we released that energy from you. We did. Did it also release, in this case, from your father? Yes. And did that also release from his mother? Yes. Did it release from all those ancestors all the way back? Yeah. And that's one of the funny things that we see with this, is that apparently, what I believe is that when people die, the spirit leaves the body and goes on, and we're still alive and so on. So we'd have to do another show. I could tell you more about that, but it's kind of fun. So that was one thing. Now, can you understand how a trapped emotion of vulnerability, and by the way, when we see an emotional energy passed down for generations like this one, it usually means that it was a powerful energy when it was first contracted by the original person. But can you see how, if you're feeling a sense of vulnerability all the time on some low level, even if it's from an antique energy, if you will, can you see how that could cause you to carry more weight than you should?
I can. And what's fascinating is my word that I chose when you asked me was that I feel vulnerable. I didn't use any other word, if you recall, in the conversation.
That's right.
And so I always felt intuitively that it was more from my grandmother's side, my maternal side. No idea that it's
11 generations.
1735.
So it was your grandmother, you were right,
but from
11
my father,
generations back.
I mean, just mind-boggling. And I do feel an energetic release that has happened. I don't know how it's going to play out, but that's astonishing information. And sharing your screen with us helped us to go through that exercise so simply and amazing.
And that was a great example of the emotion code, really, and how that can work, and how emotional energies, even if they're inherited from a long time ago, can be affecting you in the present. Now, there may very well be other imbalances that you might have going on, but those we would, address in the body code, which can help us to find any and all imbalances that might be happening.
So I'm glad you mentioned the body code, because this is your latest book. And I'd like to know more about the body code and how it differs from the emotion code.
Well, as I mentioned before, I was when I was in practice for all those years, I always had a computer there with me, and I was always trying to catalog things and figure out where things belonged in this hierarchy. And I built this mind mapping system. And so the mind map now looks like this. I found that there are really 6 different kinds of imbalances that cause all of our problems, right? And I mentioned those before. But what happened was I had taught bits and pieces of the body code in seminars around the world, starting in about 1998. Well, the Emotion Code book came out in 2007. And in 2008, one morning I woke up and my mind was full of instruction. And the instruction was very, very clear. And the instruction was, you need to take everything that you've learned about natural healing and put it into a self-study course that anyone can learn and make it available to everyone, everywhere. And this did not come from my own mind. This woke me up. And I remember thinking, wow, no, you sure about this? This seems like it could actually take a lot of work. And it was a lot of work. But the body code book is really the instruction manual for your body to teach you how you can find if you have imbalances in any of these areas and how to correct them. For example, maybe you've got a nutritional deficiency of something, maybe more than one thing. You can find those here. Maybe you're dealing with some kind of a low-grade infection. Maybe it's mold or fungus. Maybe you've got a parasite. Maybe that's causing your digestive issues and so on. You can find those here. Maybe you've got a misalignment going on in your head, in your skull. Maybe that's contributing to your migraine headaches. You could find those here. Maybe you've got emotional baggage or trauma energies. Those would be here in this area. Maybe your spirit and your body are a little bit out of sync. Maybe you've got some kind of imbalance in an organ or a gland or a chakra or a meridian. You'd find those here. And maybe you're toxic. And so you'd find any kind of toxin in the body here. And so the way that you'll notice that every single one of these has a page reference, although you probably couldn't see those. But basically the way that this works is we teach you in this book how to communicate with your own subconscious mind and ask questions and then find out where your imbalances are. And so let's say, for example, you're taken to energies. Well, there's a page reference there, and you're taken to a page that looks like this. And it's the beginning of a chapter, really, that explains everything about this particular kind of imbalance. And on the next page, you'll find some specific imbalances that you might be taken to. As an example, here's one that we call post-traumatic energies. And there's a page reference for that one, page 117. And if I go to that one really quickly, you'll see there is you're taken to, there's lots of color photos in here. You're taken to a page that looks like this. And then you learn about what this is. And then you actually have step-by-step instructions on how to fix this. And just as an example of what the body code is like and how you'll find information in here that doesn't exist anywhere else. When I was in practice, I had a habit of prayer, really asking for help from God with each person that I saw. And it was a totally private, totally personal habit. Nobody ever knew that I was saying a prayer for them. It was just silent, right? Just a momentary pause on my part. But I was asking for help. And sometimes the information would flood in like an avalanche, right? Not very often, but once in a while. One day, a patient came into me, 42 years old. He said that 4 years before he'd been in a car accident, and his neck pain was still a 9 on a 0 to 10 scale. And he'd seen a couple of doctors for it, and he didn't know what to do. And I thought, that's kind of odd after 4 years. And so before I went to work on him, I said this silent prayer, and I said, Father, help me to understand if there's something going on with him that I need to know about, because this seems kind of strange. In the name of Jesus Christ. As a Christian, I pray that way. And I got this immediate answer that flowed in. And the answer was that when this guy was rear-ended in the accident, there was a lot of kinetic energy that was released from that blow that his car took. That energy went into his car, crumpled the fenders, bent the frame, went through his body, gave him whiplash. But the answer was that some of that energy had become lodged in his neck. And that was the answer. And I thought, oh, some of the energy from the accident is stuck in his neck. Weird. So I took a magnet, swiped it down his back a few times down the governing meridian to release that energy. And then I said, okay, move your neck around. Then he looks left and right and up and down and tilts his head left and right. And he says, how'd you do that? And I said, well, how is it? And he said, well, I'd say it's a 2. And I said, well, when's the last time it was a 2 on a 0 to 10 scale? He said, before the accident.
Amazing.
And so that's one of the things you'll find in the body code. There's lots of stuff like that is energy medicine at its purest and simplest. And so we're trying to get this out to the world as fast as we can. That's my job. That's my mission. That's why I'm here.
I love it. Do you also offer, I have a few questions. Do you offer online workshops? And as my friend contacted an emotion code practitioner, do you also have body code practitioners?
We do.
And so just tell us about where people can go to participate in either an online workshop or contact a practitioner.
Sure, absolutely. All of our events are listed on our website at discoverhealing.com. And we do have events. We're going to be in Florida, Cocoa Beach, Florida, the 3rd and 4th of November, 2023.
So you have 2 days, folks.
We have 2 days, folks.
A few days, yeah.
Well, because our program is November 1. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to have to hurry for that one.
Yeah.
I'll be in Switzerland speaking the following weekend. The following weekend after that, I'll be in Taipei and Taiwan. And that's our last event for this year. But on discoverhealing.com, you can look at all the events that are going on. And also, you can find a practitioner. We've certified almost 12,000 practitioners now of the emotion code in over 80 countries, and thousands also of body code practitioners. And the beauty of this work is that it's done live and in person or at a distance. And so, you look at the map, you might find that somebody that you might find a practitioner that you want to work with, and maybe they're on the other side of the planet. It doesn't make any difference at all. Welcome to the 21st century. This is energy medicine. This is what Einstein foresaw, and here it is in real life. Is that?
Absolutely. And I still feel this kind of lightness after what you have done. And
good.
I'm aware that, when I studied another type of energy healing, someone told me it was easier to decode a conflict for cancer than it is for someone who's overweight, because there's so many layers and layers that come with this.
11 generations of them.
Yeah. But my question is, I guess, if we keep doing this work, we'll keep getting answers. Is that right? Well,
yes. I mean, I'm sure that there are more imbalances going on in your body. But the critical thing, the most important thing really to me, is aligning the subconscious with the conscious mind. If you can align your conscious will, in your case, to lose weight, and if you can get your subconscious mind aligned with that, so that the subconscious mind is okay with you losing weight and okay with you being, a size 1 or 0 or whatever it is you want to get to, or whatever weight you want to get to, if you can get your subconscious mind to be okay with that, then that's when you can actually achieve that, and it can happen much faster and much more easily than you might think.
Oh, so beautiful! Thank you so much, Dr. Bradley Nelson. Just personally for me right now, that's huge. And on behalf of everyone listening, thank you for bringing this work, this precious
awesome work. This is awesome work.
It is. Is there any kind of final words that you want to share with everyone before we go to a 10-minute break?
Well, this is awesome work, and but it really has nothing to do with me, except I'm just the teacher. I'm just here to show you what's possible. This work has come from above. There is a God in heaven. I know that he is real, that he lives, he loves us. Love is the whole reason why the world is here, why we're all here. It's all about this immense unconditional love that we can't comprehend. And God has brought these tools into the world through me, just, nobody really, to help bring back that healing birthright to everyone that belongs to everyone. We all have the ability through this emotion code and the body code. We all have the ability to take back that healing birthright, to be able to help ourselves in most cases and help our family members and our loved ones in most cases. If you need Western medicine, great, go get Western medicine. But most of the time, most people don't need surgery. Most of the time, most people don't need some kind of a petrochemical pharmaceutical drug. Most of the time, they have imbalances going on within them that just need to be addressed. And this is how you can find those and address those. So this is it's a monumental thing, really. It's a huge paradigm shift. When you think about Chat GPT and how that's changing the world, everybody knows about that now. But in artificial intelligence. But the reality of it is we have this divine intelligence within each one of us that now suddenly we can talk to and we can ask questions of and we can get answers about and fix the underlying imbalances that are creating the symptoms for us or that are going to create the symptoms for us down the road. And so we can prevent things in many cases. And it's a beautiful time to be alive. As much turmoil as we see in the world, for every bad thing that happens, there's another good thing that happens, and this is among the good things. This is going to change the whole world, I think.
Whew, love it. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, my goodness, I love the phrase divine intelligence. Isn't that wonderful? We all have divine intelligence, and now we have the tools of how to contact it. So I encourage you in this next 10 minutes when we take a break, go and have a look at discoverhealing.com. And then we'll see you back here for the Circle of 12. Well, welcome back, everyone. Once again, it was such a joy and delight to have Bradley on our program again.
I think he's a star.
He's
done so much.
Done so much.
Yeah.
Helped so many people. And maybe you're one of those people that this is exactly what you needed to hear in this moment.
I think I'm one of those.
Well, and just Bradley's just such a charismatic, enigmatic personality. Yeah. So thank you again, Bradley. What a pleasure.
Well, we're going to move to the next section. What we'd like to do now is part of the program we call Miracle Moments. It's about celebrating the miracles of others, and it's about connecting and sending love and compassion to those who are asking for a miracle or perhaps have reported one. I want you to know about the energy of compassion and the prayer. That is so remarkable, and these are reports of that and also requests for that. And we love to put this together, and it's powerful, and I've even experienced it. So group prayer works, and so does talking to our smart bodies, which we call innate. Earlier in the program, we gave an affirmation where we did just that. We talked to our innate, our intelligent, smart body, and we gave it instructions. I'd like to ask Monica to share a miracle moment which has happened to 2 of our Circle of 12 members, and one of whom talked about her innate.
So I think it's so important that we celebrate each other's miracles. And to me, when we do this, I feel like it kind of matches the energy of having gratitude. When we're grateful, so many amazing things happen. And when we experience a miracle personally, or maybe even just hear about it, we feel grateful for so many things. And as Lee mentioned a moment ago, this next miracle moment that I'd like to share with you, it involves the innate, and it comes from Claudia. Maybe it's Claudia, so I hope either way I get the name right. But Claudia says in 2021, I had a COVID infection, and as a result, parts of my olfactory senses changed in perception. I wasn't able to smell some fruits, liquids, and spices, or they simply smelled awful. I did as Cryon tells us. I talked to innate, to my olfactory cells, to my body. And it was in April of 2023 that I realized the function's back. and all is well with my nose. I love that. Thank you, Claudia, for sharing that miracle with us. And I think it's really encouraging, especially because something happened for her over time. Did you notice that she said she had COVID infection in 21, and then all of a sudden it was April 2023 that she realized, oh my gosh, I can smell everything again. So I want to encourage all of you, whatever is your issue, keep going. No matter what, never give up. Keep on going. Keep on using those affirmations. Keep on finding inspiration for your own life. So now I have one more miracle moment I'd like to share, and it comes from Alan. And Alan says, after following the guidance and energy of Cryon for many years, I've seen the fruition of this work. Creating is becoming easier. Most recently is the arrival of my soulmate and the abundance of the love, joy, and gratitude that this connection brings. There is an end of lack, energetically and materially. The integration of my higher self is ongoing. I have so much love, and all that goes with the love for Cryon, Lee, Monica, and all of you who help get these messages and energies out there. The messages are true and they work. This I promise. I am sending more loving energies to all my fellow masters finding their way. We are rocking this. I love that you ended that phrase or sharing of the miracle moment, Alan, with saying that we are rocking this. And I think everyone can feel the joy and enthusiasm of what you have shared with us. And so now it's our time, as we are able to tap into that joy and energy, enthusiasm, that beautiful miracle moment. It's our time now to use that and send the energy of love and compassion to those who perhaps can't find that or can't feel that or are asking help. And it could be help for many, many reasons. It could be a physical body help that they need assistance with. It could be emotions. It could be trauma. It could be so many things that people are asking us for help. There's a prayer request that we have within our membership portal, and whether it's past, present, or future, Spirit knows every single name that is ever going to be on that list. And as a group of old souls, we have the ability to come together and create a field of coherence and send energy to those who requested it. In the channel a few moments ago, Cryon mentioned this image that has stayed with me, delivering packages of peace to everyone on the planet. So let's do that together. I invite you to close your eyes and connect with what is inside of you. It is the divine spark that wants to be found. And if you are listening to this, you have been nudged by your divine spark to do so. It wants to be found, and it wants to send you love, compassion, benevolence for your life. It wants to guide you. And it wants to remind you that this divine spark is in an eternal state of peace. And as we connect with this eternal state of peace that is within us, let us feel, sense, visualize, or imagine a small little package emerging from our heart center into our hands. And as we hold this precious package of peace within our hands, let us feel, sense, visualize, or imagine releasing our hands, and this package of peace all of a sudden has a little parachute, and it starts circling up into the atmosphere. And it starts to multiply. You see, the package of peace you have received is not singular, but it becomes multidimensional. And so all around the atmosphere right now in this moment, feel, sense, visualize, or imagine billions of packages of peace that are in the atmosphere. And they begin to multiply even more. And as we continue focusing on this and creating coherence between us, those packages of peace begin to descend. And they start to come down to planet Earth. And every single human that is on this planet is now going to energetically receive this package of peace. And you too are included in this. And so as you have this package of peace descend down upon you, nothing to do, just to receive, the smart, intelligent body of yours is already receiving this. From this place of eternal peace, relaxation, surrendering into the arms of Spirit, let us now come a little closer to Kryon.
Greetings, dear ones. I'm Kryon. Indeed, come a little closer. Come a little closer to that which is peacefulness, kindness, compassion. And that means come a little closer to your own soul energy. I'd like to make this a continuation of the channel given earlier. The channel given earlier was about recovery. The idea that you are recovering from a coma. And it's not just an individual one that you are recovering from, it is one that humanity is recovering from. We gave you the idea, the metaphor, that humanity has actually been in a comatose situation of negativity, not knowing anything that was higher in consciousness than that which they have participated in for eons. That's why history repeats itself, dear ones. It takes a higher consciousness of awareness not to repeat history. History is not repeating itself today, even though you think it is. It's a few trying to pull you back to what it used to be, not the world pulling it back. And those few that we're talking about are not individuals as much as a group of dark energy that wants to keep you in fear, that wants to keep you disabled, you might say, in consciousness, so that you cannot see the hope and the light that's ahead. What we want to do in the Circle of 12 tonight, in this particular program, is to continue the idea of recovery and what that might mean to your soul. Remember, that which is in your soul is a collective consciousness of everything you ever have been, on any planet, at every time, and every incarnation, and more. If you are part of a divine creation, then you have a piece and a part of God, whatever that means, or spirit, in you right now as you walk around. This has been the message of Masters for a very long time, that there is divinity inside. This is the very story that you get, the Adam and Eve story if you want to go there, or the Pleiadian story, if you want to go there, imbued with that which is divine. Magnificence is yours. Not just biology, dear ones. You have a soul. Let's cross the bridge right now and examine what's happening with your soul. Take my hand. It's the metaphor of crossing a bridge from the known to the unknown, where you then take an action in your mind, where you walk across the bridge through a mist that obfuscates what's coming and into that which is the beauty of your own soul. A beautiful thing, filled with the greatest love you've ever felt. And it's you, with you, and with Spirit. Your soul is forever. It always was, it always will be. Does that sound familiar? It's a piece of God. Perhaps a small piece, perhaps a big piece. We don't know. You don't know. I could describe it for you, and you wouldn't believe it. It'd take your breath away. You wouldn't believe it. Come with me in this magic place through the door that you always go through in this particular program, a door which has your name on it in this particular program, which identifies it's yours. And into a grand hall, you might say, and no one is sitting there. The floor is forever, you might say. You can't even see the walls, but there are so many there. You don't know who they are, but they're there. And you're asked to sit in the chair, and you know something's coming. It's fun to imagine this, is it not? A place where you are going to be honored yet again. Maybe there'll be some teaching, maybe later there'll be some teaching. But the subject is awakening. I want you to ask yourself right now, as you, why were you born at this time? Forget what age you are. Every single one of you, why were you born? Some of you actually have asked that very, very question. Maybe you awakened because you asked the question. Maybe you were in distress when you asked the question. You see, I know who's listening. I know who's listening, whether it's now or far from now, for it's all now to me. You might call it a replay, and it might be a year away. That means you just awoke. Many who are awakening right now, in the now, it's individual, but it's also collective. Light workers are coming out of comas. The comas are dark energy, where you've been as a human all of these eons and lifetime after lifetime. You asked a question, why are you here? And the answer I will give you is because you planned to be. Old soul, you have the equipment to be. Old soul, the equipment being you have wisdom of life after life. That is the old soul. It means you've been here collectively in the school of earth. And here you are ready to awaken from that coma. And that is what you expected in this lifetime. You knew it was coming. I told you it was coming. Many did. The indigenous did. And here you are, sitting there as a light worker, having accomplished what you planned. How many years did it take to get to this place of realization? What if you're bigger than you thought? What if your purpose on the planet is for right now, so you can generate the light you need and send it to those places to beat up the darkness to a place where this is the final battle? What if that's you? Well, I'm going to tell you it is. Who is in this grand crowd around you that is in the dark that you can't really see them, and they start to step into the light, and you see there are so many? What if these are other souls that came in with you? Is it possible you had an agreement with so many to meet them or even not meet them? What if some of the souls are in trouble right now and they came in because you are coming in to help them? What a concept. But right now, in a multidimensional place, it's all quiet, it's all peaceful, it's all compassionate. And they start applauding. Oh, and they start applauding. Thank you for awakening on schedule. The applauding may turn to cheering. And they start to come into the light, and you start to recognize perhaps some faces and you don't others, but you start to even recognize their past yous. Some of them are the Akashic you that said it was worth it. It was worth it. We went through this so you could be here right now. It's a celebration. It's a party. You've awakened. That's why you came. But right now, for the incredible, powerful you who can send light to all those who need it on the planet now. And you can continue to for the rest of your life. You might sit there in your own 3D-ness and say, me? How can I do that? Don't even think about it. Just your thoughts send energy. I want you to stay right now and enjoy this party, this celebration. I want you to feel the chills of appreciation from Spirit, from all that is, from Gaia, who said thank you for saving the planet. From all those around you said thank you for accomplishing the mission of awakening, of recovering from who you were then to who you are now. You are love. You are powerful. You're more than you think, dear ones. Don't let anyone take this away from you. Don't let any doctrine or words from a parent or any words from any person who's ever criticized you take away this magnificent you that I see and that your soul is. I am Kryon, in love with you all. Stay and listen to the applause, the singing, the humming, the beauty. Mission accomplished, and so it is.